So in this video, we're going to be talking about conversions from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. And to begin, we're just going to look at a circle so we can figure out where our formulas come from. So we know a circle is composed of 360 degrees, or you can also think of it as 2 pi. And that means half of a circle would be 180 degrees, or just pi. So we know that 1 pi is 180 degrees, and that 180 degrees is 1 pi. So let's say I am given something in degrees, so I'm trying to convert this to radians. So radians will be equal to our degrees, and we're going to be multiplying that by 1 pi over 180 degrees. And so we're just thinking about it. We're canceling out degrees with degrees to be left with pi, which is our radians. And so these formulas work both ways. So if I'm trying to figure out my degrees, when I'm given the radians, I'm going to multiply that by 180 degrees, because again, that's our degrees divided by our pi, which would be in radian form. So let's go ahead and work through a couple examples per se. Let's say I am given 35 degrees and I need to convert this to radians. So again, I know 35 degrees. I'm going to multiply that by pi divided by 180. When I multiply that, I will get 35 pi. Oh, not 35 degrees. 35 pi divided by 180. And so we can leave this as it is, but we actually don't want to because of the fact that it's not completely simplified. So I know 35 and 180 are both divisible by 5. So I go ahead and divide 35 by 5, which gives me 7. So I'll have 7 pi. And then 180 divided by 5 will give me 36. So 35 degrees in radians equals 7 pi over 36. So that is converting from degrees to radians. And again, we want to make this as simplified as possible in our final answer. Now, if we're doing radians to degrees, let's say I have 4 pi over 5 radians, and I want to turn that into degrees. So I'll start 4 pi over 5. We are now going to be multiplying this by 180 divided by pi. A good way to remember this is that our pi's are going to be canceling out when we convert from degrees to radians, or from radians to degrees. So let's look at this. I'll have pi here. We'll cancel out with that pi. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and start simplifying things to make things even easier when we multiply. So like we said before, 180 is divisible by 5, and 5 is also divisible by 5. So that will leave me with 4 divided by 5 divided by 5 is 1, times 180 divided by 5, which just said is 36, divided by our pi's canceled out, which is 1. So all I have to do now is multiply 4 by 36, which equals 144. So 4 pi over 5 is equal to 144 degrees.